Star Wars' best TV show, Andor, is more closely aligned with Star Wars creator George Lucas' vision than I ever realized. When Lucas created the concept for Star Wars, he famously wanted the story to be child-friendly. It can still be enjoyed by all age groups, of course, but at its core, Star Wars started as a fairy tale that happened to be set in space. This kid-friendly ethos can be seen in most of Lucas and Disney's Star Wars productions. At Star Wars Celebration 2017, Lucas himself proclaimed that Star Wars was primarily aimed at 12-year-olds and that it was about friendships, honesty, trust, doing the right thing, living on the right side and avoiding the dark side, all lessons that kids can safely and powerfully learn through fiction. That doesn't mean, however, that Lucas never intended to explore Star Wars from a more mature point of view, and the recently renamed Andor, a Star Wars story, gives us a glimpse at what could have been George Lucas' plan to evolve Star Wars into something for adults. George Lucas Underworld and 1313 Custom Star Wars Image Custom Image by Kevin Erdman. Lucas may have originally intended Star Wars to be for kids. The creation of Jar Jar Binks is, for better or worse, a true testament to Lucas's child-friendly vision, but that never stopped him from wanting to explore a more complex, sinister side of the Star Wars galaxy, too. Recently, a producer who worked closely with George Lucas in the late 2000s revealed more details about Lucas's unrealized Star Wars TV project, Star Wars: Underworld. As the name suggests, Underworld would have largely been set in the lower levels of Coruscant and followed big Star Wars characters like Palpatine, Lando Calrissian, Boba Fett, Vader, Han Solo, and more between the events of Star Wars, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith and the original Star Wars movie, later retitled A New Hope. Reportedly, 60 out of 100 planned scripts were already written, and the stories would have been sexy, violent, wonderful, complicated, challenging, and would have blown up the whole Star Wars universe. Now, Andor may not blow up the whole Star Wars universe, primarily because we already know how Cassian Andor's story ends, but it is undeniably providing a new, more mature perspective on the Star Wars galaxy and the most major conflict within the Star Wars franchise. Underworld, like Andor, would have focused on the earliest iteration of the rebellion. Lucas had a wider vision for Star Wars than I ever realized before. When dealing with a story world as vast and creative as the Star Wars galaxy, there's no point in limiting your range of storytelling. Yes, keeping things accessible for all ages has allowed Star Wars to become the powerhouse franchise it is today. That success and popularity also provide the necessary space to explore a different, less fantastical, more realistically grounded corner of the galaxy. Though Underworld's scope may have been much more expansive, Andor has, to an extent, taken on its role in the Star Wars universe, creating a story solely intended for more mature audiences. Darker themes aren't presented through an innocent, child-friendly lens in Andor, and they wouldn't have been in Underworld, either. You can't view Andor as a fairy tale because it is the farthest thing from being one, and with Star Wars: Underworld, George Lucas realized Star Wars could be more, too.